Dan, you're muted. I can't hear you.
The whole time, the intro.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it again. Welcome to NorCal Sports Network. We're cooking over here at NorCal. Everything's cooking at NorCal Sports Network.
Giants are barbecuing.
The Giants are not cooking. They're cooked.
They are cooked.
And I'm going to put the Brewers hat on because, again, we only like winners here at NorCal Sports Network. And so Los wears the winning hat, the worst team ever.
What does that tell you? What does that tell you?
They beat the Giants.
Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm. 6-0. They lose 6-0. Birdsong goes 3 2/3, 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. His ERA is now 5.14. The Giants get 2 hits in total. They muster up a total of 2 hits. Raise the roof.
2 hits. Wow. Going places. Who pitched today? Who pitched today, more?
Birdsong.
Damn, I still like that kid.
Oh, I think his stuff is electric.
He just needs to learn how to pitch. Sometimes you just need more than good stuff. Please have patience with him. Hopefully come to spring training. Maybe he can pick up a pitch or two, get location. That kid is part of our future, so I'm not worried about the numbers. It's a learning curve. It's okay.
Los, did you watch the game last night?
I don't watch the Giants too much. I watch the highlights here and there. I'll be honest. I don't like if nothing else is on, maybe I'll turn it on over there, but I don't watch them too much.
Well, Dan, you had Marty on last night, so I didn't get a chance to say my piece about the team last night. If you just look at the box score,
thank you, Lou,
with Kyle Harrison, it won't show you that he pitched a good game, but I thought through the first 4 2/3 innings, he just couldn't get out of that fifth inning. I thought for the first 4 2/3 innings or so, he looks really good. He was locating the fastball. He was locating the fastball really well, and he was pitching inside a little bit, which I like to see. I mentioned that on the pregame. The thing with Kyle Harrison is control. That's the main thing. He has the stuff. I know the fastball isn't as electric as Birdsong's. It doesn't go up to 96, 97, 98. But if he can just stay consistently in that 93 to 94 range, and be able to locate, then he'll be successful. It's when he misses arm side high and away where he gets that's his miss. That's when he misses arm side high and away. But if he can close those misses a little bit and be a little more consistent, then he'll find success.
Right. And I think young pitchers, just because they want to keep up with the times in today's baseball, they want to throw as hard as they possibly can. But and the pitching coach is key to this. If the pitching coach can install in them, look, what if you take a mile or two off of your fastball and you get a little bit better movement, and you get a little better location? You're just going to be a better pitcher. So if Birdsong goes down to 93, 94, and he has location, he will be a better pitcher than throwing 96 or 97. But it has to come from him. It has to come from who's ever. One of the things I just loved about our Ron Rivera interview was Buddy Ryan was a teacher. And I think maybe that's what coaching has gotten away from, is not just telling them this, telling them that, teaching them and giving them reasons why you should do this, not just saying do it and be, all authoritarian and stuff. But you need to have good teachers. And I think Birdsong is a guy, as well as Kyle Harrison, that could potentially be really, really good with the right teaching.
I think Birdsong, Los, I know you and Dan are both down in Arizona, so you guys are going to catch some spring training games. Birdsong and Harrison are two of the main guys to really look out for, because if they can have a good spring training, if they can come in, they can work in the off season and come into the season healthy and fit and a new pitcher, not a new pitcher, but having fixed some adjustments that needed to be made, this rotation could be a pretty good rotation throughout the whole year. I mean, Snell is going to opt out after the season. Don't get your hopes up, guys. Snell isn't going to come to the Giants most likely. There's a chance, but don't get your hopes up. So then it's going to have to rely on Webb, Harrison, and Birdsong as your main three, and then you got Hicks as the four, and then I don't know who's going to be the five, but we know who Webb is. We know who he is. We know what he's going to do. Birdsong and Harrison, looking at next year, are going to be two of the X factors, I think.
Yeah, we don't even need to wait till spring training. Dan and me will be locked into Arizona Fall League and see some prospects. And the Scottsdale Scorpions, Bora, come down if you'd like. Get a weekend away. It won't be 110 degrees here at that time. It's in late October, November. Weather will be perfect. So, hey, you know what? Wisenhunt is still a guy that has a lot of hype around him. So let's see if maybe he can take the next step and be part of that rotation next year.
Hey, Cliff, Giants baseball, thank God it's soon to be over. We can always count on Cliff Martinez, our resident comedian here on NorCal Sports Network. Hey, guys, in case you missed it, I don't know if anybody was tuning in on the Ron Rivera show that we had with Ron Rivera, but at the end, after Ron got off, we were telling people about our guests next week. Coming Tuesday night, check this up on the screen, guys. Look who's coming to NorCal Sports Network. That's right. We got him right here on NorCal Sports Network. Do that. Bobby Evans.
Cha-ching. Silence. Private joke.
Okay. Bobby Evans joining NorCal Sports Network next Tuesday night after the Giants Diamondbacks game, about 9:30. Okay. You're not going to want to miss that. He's the guy that helped put this, not so much this team together. He has parts of it. The better parts of this team, he's very instrumental in. Guys like Ramos, Ryan Walker, Duvall, he's having a rough year this year, but he was an all-star last year. Ramos, Matos, Luciano, all those guys. Randy Rodriguez, Tyler Rogers. And then a lot of guys that he helped put together in the up-and-coming years before they started winning championships. So you'll want to join next Tuesday night. And then next Thursday night, we've got another great Giant player going to join us. That'll be an early show, around 6:30. Giants play in the afternoon early at home. Game will end about 4. But about 6:30 next Thursday night, Dave Dravecky, the great pitcher that his story. He'll tell his story. He'll talk about what it was like. We'll hear Dave's trials, how he overcame his faith. It'll be fun. So I'm really looking forward to both those interviews next week. Bobby Evans and Dave Dravecky right here, NorCal Sports Network. All right, guys. Box score today, not even worth going over, is it? Is it, Bora? I mean, how many hits did they have today?
2.
3?
They had 2.
Okay. Who got the hits? Fitzgerald got a hit that was a slow roller to third base, and the other hit was Conforto. And that's it. And that's your Giants ball game and season for today. Birdsong and Jelly both got hit. How many runs did Birdsong count for? 3?
5.
4. 5. Okay, 5. Okay.
The walks, man. You can't walk people.
Yeah, these guys, these Giants pitchers need. It's a problem with a lot of young pitchers. Command.
Yeah.
And Roop
Ooh, look at. I was just gonna say, look at Landon Roots. That's nice.
4Ks, but 3 more walks. Giants
Yeah,
had 8 walks today. They got to, walks not only hurt you just because they put runners on base, but they keep your defense guys on the back heels, man. There's nothing worse. Is there, Los and Bora? Is there anything worse than playing the outfield or infield and you're just sitting there and the guy can't find the dang plate and you're just like tired out there for standing for 9, 10, 11, 12 batters and the guys walked 4 or 5 guys. And it's just like,
has your foot ever fell asleep playing ball?
I don't recall.
So
I used to just kind of move around. I played center field as you did, Lo. Where'd you play, Bora?
I played all around. I played in high school. Oh. I was the shortstop though.
Tyler Fitzgerald, all around.
He played all around. Who's scared of you, man?
I was a catcher when I was younger. I played
a catcher.
A little bit. I know how to catch. I know how to scoop the ball. I know how to block.
Oh, a catcher. I'm going to ask Bobby Evans, guys. Bobby Evans coached Bora.
Mm-hmm. Little League All-Stars. I'm working on getting a picture too of our team.
Okay, all right. Bora and Bobby Evans next week, Tuesday, 9:30.
Yeah, I played second and short until I took a bad hop to my face, and that was it. Outfield, here I come. That was it. Yeah.
I played second base and short too. See, I guess we all pretty similar. Doesn't really look like Los and I played much ball.
Why?
Well, we're a little bigger.
Come on.
We played ball, but it doesn't look like maybe we played the fast positions, I should say.
I'll send a picture of you from my high school team, and yeah,
I'm including myself, man. I'm
quite thinner.
I'm 200. I was 155 in my 20s. 155. I was
165, 170 senior year.
Yeah, I was
fast as hell. Also,
I could not put on weight because I had such a high metabolism and I never did like any kind of uppers or anything. Guys would try and give me in high school, hey, take these little pills, man, they'll make you jump higher. I'm like, I'm already high as a kite, man. I'm crazy. I'm I was nuts. Anyway, but I was fast too, man. What'd you bat in the order? I batted lead off.
Second.
What'd you bat, Bora?
First.
Okay, so we're both faster than Los then. Okay.
We should do a 40-yard.
Yeah.
And,
I wish there was videos back in the day where I could show my 40 time.
Could you imagine doing a 40 right now? My hip would come off. It would be dangling. My neck, my symptoms would reoccur.
I would pay money to have you and Wilmer Flores have a race.
I think I could beat I
think you could beat him too.
When I get my
you could beat him easily. No, Dan and Wilmer Flores.
Yeah, when I get my new hip, I think I could beat Flores. When I get my new hip, but I gotta wait. Los, what we got to do is maybe next spring we got to look at playing in a softball league, man.
Calm down.
Yeah. I don't know why you guys both strike me as lefties for some reason. I don't know why, but you both hit right-handed, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I played around with switch hitting a little bit for a while and did okay, but no, too many times I was made a fool of. So I was like, nah, just go right-handed.
I used to switch hit too, but I kind of trashed it.
Yeah,
I could not. Hey, I got to admit on the show right here, I can't lie. I was never I was a 300 hitter, but I was never got a home run in my life.
I've had 2 home runs over the fence.
Yeah. I came really close my 12-year-old year in Little League. The guy was leaning up against the fence and, he didn't have to jump, but he was just caught it. And I was just like, it was just, 200 feet to center. It's like it was. But when I went to Babe Ruth and the fences were, 315 down the lines and 360, 350 in the power alleys and like 380 to center. Nah, I didn't have that. I didn't have the darn power. But I got on base a lot, and I stole bases. So,
Dan, going back to the game, Encarnacion started the game in right
why?
against a righty.
Yeah, I don't understand. Why now?
Interesting.
Why? I mean, is Yaz hurt? Did he play today, Yaz? Did he get in the game? So why now? Yeah, we're going to give a guy a day off. I mean, why Encarnacion? I don't understand. To me, the whole thing with Encarnacion, because I don't think he's a part of the future. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see it. Do you guys see it?
No.
It's another garage sale pickup, hoping it
Yeah.
will work
So
out.
what are we doing? He's in the Mexican League this year, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Viva Mexico.
And so what are we doing with playing this guy and not playing Luciano?
He was the guy that stayed up when Luciano went down. I mean,
is Luciano? I mean, September 1st, which is Sunday, rosters can expand to 28, from 26 to 28. So, who are the two guys, in your opinion, that come up? Knowing this team, they'll bring a pitcher, at least one of them.
Beck, probably. I don't know how long Tristan Beck is away, but
Beck
I know
Beck or Black.
Probably Beck, just because he hasn't gotten shot. I mean, we saw Black. I'm not impressed with Black. I don't think any of us are. His stuff didn't play. I mean, Cody last night was talking about how he still has command issues. But where's
Will Bednar? Is he in AA, AAA? Is he hurt? He's another high prospect.
Who knows?
We need Cody on to talk about minors.
Yeah, maybe they bring up somebody that you kind of least expect. Because we've seen Beck, we've seen Black. We need to see somebody maybe that they haven't seen just for the stretch run.
I could see Brett Wisely being called up again.
Brett Wisely. Can we just bring up Luciano and Matos and say forget it, and just put these guys in? Can we just stick an outfield of Matos in left, McRae in center, and Ramos in right for the whole month of September, and don't change anything else? We don't need to see Yaz. We don't need to see Encarnacion. And you know what? As much as Conforto is a nice guy and a nice player, look, you might as well they put him on waivers right now and see if somebody picks him up so he can have a shot.
Do right by him. Do right by the player and give him an opportunity to shine in the playoffs. You're not doing anything for them by keeping them on this roster, just sitting away, rotting away.
Yeah,
let me ask Boro, because he's the young guy of the group, and his mentality is a little bit different than mine and yours, Dan. If you're Marco Luciano, Boro, and the Giants call you up, mentally, are you giving 100% for this organization that has continuously stabbed you in the back?
From a player's perspective, you are. Just because if I'm imagining myself in Marco Luciano's body, he's not thinking of the roster politics like we are. I mean, we go on this show almost every single day, and we talk about how Farhan's inept and incapable to run this roster. We talk about all the moves that he's made, all the players that he signed and traded for and everything. But Luciano he doesn't know any of that. All Luciano is focused on is playing. And the reality is, as much as he hasn't been given up an opportunity, like we all agree, when he has come up in his spot starts, he hasn't produced. I mean, he still hasn't hit a major league home run. He's been your number one prospect for how many years, and he hasn't had a major league home run when he's been up in the team for about 2 years, up and down at least. So I think from a player's perspective, from Luciano's perspective, you're always giving 100% whenever you're getting called up, just because you want and you need to be an MLB player, and you want to be a star. I mean, you've worked super hard your whole life. You grew up in the Dominican Republic, I'm pretty sure, somewhere over there. and you get signed at like 16. So you're thinking, oh, I'm going to be a star. I'm super young. I'm a player. And you work so hard and you travel up the system and you get your opportunity. And it's not a great opportunity. Let's be fair. He hasn't gotten a run like Casey Schmidt has, for example, last year. But in the times that he has been up, he hasn't produced. And I think that's super tough as a player, to be good and to know you have the ability to be good and to be an all-star perhaps, but you just can't. It just can't seem to click at the major league level. So I mean, to answer your question, Los, from a player's perspective, you're always giving 100% when you get called up. They're not thinking of roster politics. They're just thinking, I need to play.
No, I think that's a great answer, because I think it's easy to get caught up with your emotions. And bottom line is he has to produce it being given the chance for these last 5 weeks of the season. And if it's not for the Giants, then it's just showcase maybe for another team if he gets moved.
We talk about not having any big league home runs. How many at-bats do you think he's had? Not plate appearances, actual at-bats in his big league career.
100.
Not even.
I would say like 70.
A little higher. I'll show you what he's had. Look at that. 84 at-bats in his career.
I mean,
He has a 289 batting average this year and 45 at-bats, so a little more than half this year with a 110 OPS plus. And, it's not great, but it's not horrible. OPS plus, he's above average, and yet the Giants do not give him a chance to play. And they said he was going to be the DH when they traded Soler.
Yep.
And he's not. And so, this whole thing, they just botched it from day one. I think this team is got to be one of it's got to be one of the worst run organizations, Bora, that I can even think of or imagine. We'll bring him back when he comes back in. How do you treat your number one prospect for years this way? You gave him millions to sign, and you don't even allow him to shine. He has a couple of miscues in the infield, and you just say, okay, you're not ready to play. Well, you should have known he wasn't the shortstop. Everybody was saying he was going to.
We could see it with our eyes. We could see it with our eyes.
And Sean Estes Monday night said it right here. Marco's not a shortstop. He's not a shortstop. So find a position for him. I suggested first base. Sean liked the idea of having him play first base. Look, if Wilmer Flores can play first base, Marco Luciano can play first base. Both Flores and Luciano came up as shortstops. But who's quicker?
Marco.
I mean, Luciano's a lot quicker. But he could play first base. They just haven't. I don't understand the idea that the Giants can't get behind trying him out at first base. They're saying, well, let's try him at second base. Well, if you can't play short very well, you really think second base is going to be that much easier? I mean, it's a little bit, the throw's easier, but you still got to field the ground balls.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he plays fall league?
No.
No?
I think he might play winter ball.
In the Dominican?
Yeah. I would get him playing first base. I don't know how much time you want to put in. The guy's had back injuries when he plays winter ball. Maybe you just have him do strength conditioning and work with a strength conditioning coach in the off season and make sure he's healthy going in, and then report to Arizona a month early at their facilities at Papago and have him start working out there. And, I know you probably can't have coaches, but you can still give him instructions, and there's somebody that could go down there and work with him at first base. Gosh, I mean, Giants ought to have Brandon Belt work with him. Seriously. Belt can still field it.
It would be very interesting that if Farhan was let go and a new GM, president of baseball operations, came in, would that new person give Luciano a chance finally, or would he cut ties entirely? It'd be interesting
I think if someone new would come in, I think they would realize that Luciano's been a top prospect for how many years, and then also look at the sample size for Luciano.
Right.
I mean, how old is Luciano? He's still 22, right?
He's 22, exactly.
He's 22. He's a baby. I mean, you're seeing Tyler Fitzgerald, who's 26, and he's a rookie this year, and he's just now breaking through. Luciano's 22. If Luciano doesn't play well for the next 4 years and then finally breaks through at 26 and is the player we've all thought he could be, I mean, that's a successful person. That's a successful player. It takes time. I think if a new GM and new regime comes in, they would see the opportunity that Luciano's gotten, and it hasn't been an opportunity, to be quite frank.
Correct.
And they would try to give him a chance. On the other hand, they want their players. They're gonna trade for some players. They're gonna let some players go. So maybe they're also thinking, oh, Luciano hasn't panned out here. I don't really have time to try to develop him, to work with him. We're just gonna ship you out. We're gonna trade you, which is fine, because at least you're making a decision. Farhan at the trade deadline traded away Soler for the sole purpose to bring up Luciano and play him at DH. Or that's what we thought. I mean, we all heard the interview. He said Luciano's going to be our DH for the foreseeable future. And then Luciano gets spot starts for the next 7 games and doesn't play for 6 games. And it's just everyone's confused. I'm sure Marco's confused because, I mean, as a player, you know what the GM says. I mean, you probably watched a bunch of interviews of Farhan saying we're gonna bring you up and you're gonna be the DH. Farhan probably called him and said what he said to the media to Luciano, and from Luciano's perspective, he must be super confused because he's done everything, maybe not everything, but he's done a lot of what the Giants have asked him to do. And he's produced, as Dan, you just brought it up. He's produced when he's been up here this year in 45 at bats. He has a 110 OPS plus. That's 10% better than league average.
Right. Right.
And Michael Conforto has a 108 OPS plus for anyone who's interested.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. And there's too much inconsistencies. I said it last year on the show. I've said it this year. And I think that's the one thing with this regime, with Farhan, that has been really tough. It's been inconsistencies. We haven't had a consistent farm system. We haven't had a consistent rotation. I mean, all of last year we had one pitcher. It was Logan Webb, who was there all year. It was in and out of bullpen games. We had spot starters. We had everything. And then this year we come up day whatever of the season, and we have Dalton Jeffries throw a game. And Joey Bart. Cut Joey Bart. So there's a lot of inconsistencies with this team and with this roster and with this pitching rotation and with the farm system and with the lineup. I mean, there's not a set lineup every single day. It's the same thing that it's been for the past 2, 3, 4 seasons. It's the platoon system. There's just no consistency with this team. I mean, Ryan, I know you like Conforto and you're a big Conforto defender. And it's a fair point. I mean, Michael Conforto, in his previous playing time with the Mets, he's been an all-star. He's hit like 35 home runs, I think, one year. He'd been an everyday player. And then he had the shoulder injury and he was gone for a year. And he signs with the Giants on a 2-year deal, $38 million or $36 million, with an opt-out after the first year. And he's like, okay, this is my chance to prove to myself and prove to everybody that I'm a player. And he gets platooned. And I think it's fair to say that he hasn't had his the classic Michael Conforto season in his prime. But at the same time, some players have to play every day, and some players you can't just platoon them, and you can't just keep on bringing them up and bringing them down. You have to play them. And when a player starts to get hot, and then they're sent down or they're benched, it just completely disrupts their rhythm. As a player and ask any professional athlete, they're streaky. I mean, Matt Chapman's streaky. Brandon Belt was one of the streakiest players there were. Baseball players are streaky.
Imagine if Chapman went on the bench every time he had a slump.
Exactly. I mean, you're paying Michael Conforto $18 million. That's what Chapman's being paid $18 million. Yaz is being paid $8 million.
They screwed with Conforto.
They completely screwed with Michael
against
Conforto.
left-handed pitching, and then they never let him play. And then he hits left-handed pitching. He's got like 100 at bats this year, and he's hitting over 300. It's ridiculous that they do this platoon stuff. I want to get to a point that Robert brought up, and then I want to go to one of my Twitter tweets today. Giants. One chance with runners in scoring position was in the first inning. Of course, Chapman struck out. Let me go on a little rant here, if I may, as we pull this up here from Twitter earlier today. Blow that up. There we go. A typical Giants inning and why they are a 500 team at best. Fitzgerald walks with one out, and Ramos is up, and Fitzgerald never attempts a steal. Doesn't even attempt to get into scoring position. Ramos flies out, and then Conforto comes up, and again, Fitzgerald doesn't attempt to steal. He has 3 pitches before he has a chance. And no, what does he do? He doesn't go anywhere. And on a 1-2 pitch, Conforto singles to left center. Fitzgerald goes to third on the play. Then typical Matt Chapman strikes out with 2 runners on. He only has 64 RBIs, and he often does not come through with runners in scoring position. The problem with this team, we saw it last Saturday against the Seattle Mariners. You decided to run. You stole 4 bases in the game. You bunted twice, or at least once, and attempted another bunt. I'm not sure if they bunted twice, but definitely tried to bunt twice. The bunt was successful. The steals were successful. And you won the game by a run because you played some small ball. Now, you got a chance to start early. Why is Tyler Fitzgerald batting in the top of the order when he gets on if you're not going to have him run? Come on, guys. You get two disengagements in this game. The bags are bigger. That means you can get there quicker. That they went on to play the other. Well, we can't play that because that's got sound. But the Mariners, I was watching the Mariners broadcast on Fitzgerald's 1 hit he got today. They talked about his speed and that he has some of the fastest speed. It's like 31, what is it, steps per second or something like that?
Feet per second.
Oh, feet. Okay.
Something like
31 feet. He and the highest, Brian Anderson, the Mariners broadcaster, was saying the highest he's seen in this year is 32 feet per second. That's getting down to first base in less than 3 seconds because it's 90 feet and you're already got it. Well, right-hander, you're a little farther. Okay, left-handed, it's a little less. But still, that's 31 feet per second. That's 93 feet in 3 seconds. So he's getting to first base at under 3 seconds. Guys, the guy should be stealing. What happens if Fitzgerald takes off on one of the pitches to Ramos or one of the first 2 pitches in Conforto? He's in scoring position. But no, the Giants are going to go station to station with 2 hits in an inning. They rarely put together multiple hits in an inning.
Dan, I'm so glad you brought this up because I'm looking at Baseball Savant right now. I'm looking at sprint speed, feet per second. Bobby Witt is number 1 in the league at 30.4. Number 2 is Victor Scott at 30.1. Johan Rojas is tied for second at 30.1. So is Ellie De La Cruz. We all know who Ellie De La Cruz is,
Right.
right? I think pretty much he leads the league in stolen bases. He's tied for second at 30.1. Coming in at fifth is Tyler Fitzgerald, 30.0. He's 1/10 of a second slower than Ellie De La Cruz, and he's not stealing. I mean, that's organizational malpractice. He has to be stealing every time he gets on first.
I watched him in spring training, Los and I. The guy was flying on every time he got on base. I think he had more stolen bases in spring than he has on the season.
He could easily be a 40 to 50 steal guy. Easily. If they turn him loose. Like, don't even give him a sign. Like, players at one time, they had their own light. They didn't need a sign from the third base coach. They can go whenever they want. When you have elite speed and you know what you're doing as far as reading pitchers, you go when you see fit. And if they have a stop sign on him to steal only when they want to, then again, that's just another problem when it comes to coaching and strategy.
Can we play sound from Twitter?
I don't know if it's the broadcast, then I don't know.
Go ahead. You know why? Because we can edit it out if we have to, and this is our umpteenth show of the day.
Okay. Let me pull it up first.
Yeah, I want you to hear this. And there's two things I want you to hear. I want you to hear what they're saying, the commentators, about Fitzgerald. I did not know this today. I hadn't heard this on a Giants broadcast. And instead of getting some good analytics and good analogies and good, stats about a player, we got to listen to Hunter Pence cheerlead about the Giants. And Ryan says mute the sound. I think we got to play the sound to make it work, though. Let me get this out of the way. Go. I think we're okay. We'll just watch.
Chopper going to be a tough play. Ortiz has no play. Fitzgerald runs too well. That'll be a base hit.
He runs too well.
Listen to this.
And one of the fastest runners in all of baseball, over 30 feet per second in terms of average run speed. It's a little chopper to Joey Ortiz, just puts it in his back pocket.
Oh, there was more to it. I heard Brian Anderson say he said about 31. He was cooking it.
31.0 was his sprint speed right there. Measure speed in baseball in feet per second, and 31 is cooking. That's about as good as it gets. I've seen just a handful of 32s this year, but 31, that's up there. A tremendous athlete, fourth rounder for the Giants, middle infielder, can really run.
There we go. You guys hear that? There's two things I wanted you to hear. One is how fast Fitzgerald is and the fact that he's not running. And two, how come we don't hear that kind of commentary?
You know what we hear on that? Oh, wow, it's not the best swing, but a little dribbler, and Tyler Fitzgerald's just super fast, and he gets to first. That's what we hear with Pence.
Yeah, we don't hear the homework of, wow, I didn't know that Fitzgerald was some of the fastest time in baseball, and if you listen to other different broadcasts, you'll hear great commentary. I mean, Hunter Pence, look, I love Hunter Pence as a player. I love his enthusiasm, but I know what's going on. The Giants don't want Hunter Pence. They brought him in to be a cheerleader because they don't want them talking about negativity to the casual fans out there, because they'll leave. Yeah. You can't give honest opinion on the broadcast so this is why we get, the Giants are not getting the calls here today. Oh, whoa, that was, or it's like, look, guys, I don't want to, Asif, this is for you, my friend. You tell me I'm negative. Tell me why I should be positive about this team. I like positives.
Or about Farhan in general.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you keep defending him. There's more to bringing in players. Your biggest argument, Asif, that you always say on the show, respectfully, is he brings players. It's the player's job to do well. There's a lot more responsibilities at being president of baseball operations and general manager than doing that. He doesn't have a human connection with people. He's not a salesperson. He is installing his philosophy to the manager and telling the manager more or less, this is who you need to play and you need to platoon these guys. He is making a lot of mistakes other than who he picks. I don't know if you know business structure very well, but let me give you an example. I am a sales manager for what I do for a living. I have a broker and an owner I have to answer to. If I hire guys that are not, or women, either agents that are not productive, I'm responsible. I hired them. I went through everything with them. And if they are not productive within a year or so, of course, they're going to get fired, but my broker is going to hold me accountable because I picked them. I interviewed them. So there is a sense of responsibility in picking people and knowing if they're going to be good or not. It comes with the job, man. It comes with the job.
Yeah, it's really does. So Matthew says the Pittsburgh Pirates announcers definitely keep track of every analytics stat of O'Neill Cruz. Giants should too. Farhan is supposed to be king of analytics, supposedly. Yeah, guys, they've got to. You've got to be able to say what's going on the field on this team. And I asked you, Asif, about giving me what I should be positive about. I'll give you some positive things of the Giants. How about Elliot Ramos? That's a positive. Okay. I don't give credit for Farhan for that because he didn't want him. Okay. I got one. Blake Snell's a positive, but he's going to walk. That's two. I guess you could say to an extent Matt Chapman is somewhat of a positive because
I'd say it's positive, yeah.
He's had a good year, but he's not the difference maker they need right now. That's three.
Tyler Fitzgerald's
a positive. That's four.
Logan Webb.
You could say Webb, five. You could say to a certain extent that Birdsong is showing potential. Harrison is showing some potential. On the farm, Bryce Eldridge looks good. That's a Farhan positive.
Bryce Eldridge, I'll give Farhan credit for this. Bryce Eldridge looks great. I put out a tweet earlier. I wouldn't be shocked if he's a top 10 prospect in all of baseball by the end of next year. His power is ridiculous, and he's only 19. He's gonna fill out a little more. He's 6'7".
Imagine if you matched him up with Kobe Mayo.
I mean, his power is outstanding, and I think he could be a true 40 home run guy. I know Cody has gone on and on about him. He's raved about him, but if you watch Bryce Eldridge today, or it might have been either today or yesterday, there was an inside corner pitch, and he hit it squarely to left center. You don't see guys doing that all often. You see them pull that pitch, but to be able to hit a pitch to the opposite field from an inside corner pitch, that shows you have power to all fields, and you utilize that power to all fields.
And what if Farhan is still here in 2026 when Eldridge arrives?
That's the problem.
And he platoons him.
I don't know if he'll platoon him, but I don't hope he's not here.
I wouldn't doubt it.
One more positive. I think this is a positive from Cliff Martinez. I would agree. That's a positive. Laura Britt.
Mm-hmm.
She's a positive. Sean Estes is a positive. Ron Wotus is a positive.
I'd say George Contos.
George Contos and Rich Aurelia. We got Sergio Romo.
I think they have new tacos in the grandstand. I think that's a positive as well.
The crazy crab sandwich.
Yeah.
Crazy crab sandwich is pretty good. Tony's pizza is pretty good. I don't eat it anymore, but I love pizza. But
Greg Papa positive. Yeah. So there's not, but on the field, I would say Patrick Bailey's defense is positive. He's probably going to be, according to the Brewers broadcasters, they said Bailey will probably win, defense Gold Glove at catcher. They were talking about the calls that have gone against the Giants in the series. They were honest. They were saying the Brewers just said, "Hey, it seems like a lot of the close calls haven't gone the Giants' way in this series, but some of that might be due to that Bailey wasn't in the game. He does steal strikes for you, so maybe Harrison's balls that hit the line last night would have been called strikes out of the inning instead of a ball and a walk, and then boom, 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 5-0.
Mm-hmm.
So, that beef brisket sandwich is very good, Asif. I used to get the brisket sandwich when I walked into my seats. Got them every game I went to. Got the brisket sandwich at the Carvery, and I liked it. I like that brisket sandwich.
The Patrick Bailey talk is interesting because the one metric that he's really elite at is pitch framing.
Yeah.
And it's great right now, but in a couple years when the challenge system comes or whatever comes, the ABS automatic strike zone, whatever it is not going to be as crucial as it is right now, because you're not always relying on umpires. There's going to be replay review to see the imaginary box. So that's going to go away. And I think this offseason, I don't know what it is with Patrick Bailey and his offensive fallout for the second half of the season. It's happened 2 years in a row. This past offseason, he made it a point to beef up, and it apparently didn't help at all. He is slumping right now, and it's not. Yeah. It's not. I don't know if he's tired or what it is, but he is just not performing. But I think he needs to figure that out, but he also needs to figure out how to block a little better and how to actually catch some balls. Because if you watch Patrick Bailey, he is so prone to be like pick up the low strike and miss it and frame the outside and inside pitch, that his hands are so quick, the movement, that sometimes he'll miss it or he'll catch a ball wrong and it'll fall out. So that's something he needs to work on. And also his blocking. I don't know what the metric is for blocking, but I know he's not the best at it. The one thing that makes him such a great and elite defensive catcher is the pitch framing.
Right. Rob makes a great point here, and it was just up there, but it went away. Yeah, great leaders do not micromanage like Farhan does. Great leaders have vision, are tough, and hire great people. Yeah, great leaders are not afraid to hire someone smarter than themselves. Because
the previous interview, Ron Rivera, didn't he just talk about how he lets his coordinators coordinate? He doesn't micromanage.
No, because
he'll bring that up with Kyle Shanahan when we have that discourse. But Marty Lurie, last night, right, Dan? He came on and you asked him what the level of Farhan influence in this team is, and he says Farhan runs everything. Melvin plays his guys. If you look at Melvin's track record, he plays his guys. And I mean, I hate to say it, but if you go to Kapler, if we're going back to Kapler, and you look at his time in Philadelphia, if you look at his players, he plays his players. So there's a constant theme of tuning the players and Farhan. It's all Farhan. He has an influence in everything. He has an influence in the lineup every day. He has an influence in the decision making every day. He has an influence in everything.
Way too much power.
And what has he done? What has he done?
Too much power.
I'm not even.
He's made the playoffs one time.
I guess if you're going to criticize him, you have to give him credit. So give him credit for 21 and say, okay, Farhan, some people say, including myself, well, he had Buster and he had all these guys, so you can't say it was all, Farhan, everything worked.
But you know what? Let's play that game. Let's say he did great. It was Farhan. Then let's smash him for the other 5 years. Okay? Come on. What job were Los, you just brought it up. You're a manager. You hire guys. If you got a salesperson that has one good year and 5 bad years, are they gonna keep their job?
He would have been done after year 3.
Yeah.
It's a productive business. It's a productive business. It's a wins and loss industry. Bottom line. Sometimes, the truth hurts. Sometimes it's not fair. And one thing Asif is right about is he can bring in players, and if they reach their potential, then obviously the team will do well. And when they don't, they don't. So in that aspect, he is correct. But he does it year after year after year. And I think one of the biggest knocks on Farhan is just what he does at the trade deadline. If there's anything that completely shows how inept he is he doesn't improve the team by getting better talent. And he sure as hell doesn't trade high talent for prospects that could build the team long term. He does neither. So that is probably my biggest knock on him. And he has a lot of faults. So 1 year in the business world out of 6 that was successful is a fireable offense in just about any field that you can name up there. It just is.
Los, I asked Ned Coletti when he came on the other night what I asked him, because he made the point of by getting rid of, because I asked him about the trade deadline, and which you just brought up, how Farhan hasn't done anything. And he said, as a GM, you have an impact on the players and the players' like mental attitude towards the team. So if you're in contention and you're in a playoff spot or close to a playoff spot, a couple games out, and you just completely get rid of everybody, that can be detrimental to a team, and you don't inspire confidence into your team. So then I asked him, can the same be said when you don't get anybody, when you don't add, and when you don't really add, but you don't really subtract? And Ned completely agreed. He said it can go both ways, but if you don't add or don't subtract and kind of do nothing, then it also doesn't inspire confidence into your team. And that's completely right. Farhan's trade deadlines the past 2 years have been historically horrible.
Yep.
AJ Pollock last year and Mark Mathias, I think it was, when you were actually in a playoff spot. I think you were second. I think you had the number 1 wild card spot at the trade deadline. You had the number 1 wild card spot, and you didn't get anybody.
AJ Pollock.
You got AJ Pollock. This year, you weren't in the playoff hunt, or you were in the playoff hunt. You weren't in the playoff standings, and you get Mark Canha, and you trade away one of your better bats in Jorge Soler. So just continuing to play this game where you're just stuck in this line of mediocrity is not going to cut it. And I mean, to Farhan's credit, he hasn't been horrible. If you just look at the record, he hasn't had a 60-win season. He hasn't had a 90-loss season. But you can't expect him to be successful, and you can't expect him to have this longevity when you're just completely mid. And that's the thing that Farhan is. He is, Los, I know you've watched Moneyball. That's what Farhan does, and that's what the Farhan type of analytical minds do. Yep. They bring you up from mediocrity into the mid levels. I mean, the A's, the Moneyball documentary, did they win the World Series? No, they didn't. They lost in the division series to the Twins, right? Or somebody. Whoever they lost to, they didn't win the World Series. I mean, Farhan brings the analytical mind and the thought process around the analytics is to get the most out of your players. That's why you see the platoon. That's why you see the quick changes and easy changes. The Giants don't need that. The Giants are a big market team. I think they spend the 5th most or 6th most in all of baseball. They have, amazing revenue in like for their ballpark and through their concessions and through everything. Farhan just isn't the type of GM that the Giants need. I think Farhan would be fine in like a Kansas City or Oakland or Tampa Bay role where it isn't
Very
a big
small
market.
budget team. Yeah.
Exactly, where you really have to scrap every little thing out of every player. But in San Francisco, that's just not what you need. You need big guns. You need stars, and you need the Juan Sotos, you need the Otanis, you need the Judges, you need the Harpers, you need the Stantons that they've missed out on pretty much every time. You need those guys. You don't need your best player being Matt Chapman. Matt Chapman's good. He's really good, but he can't be your best player.
If you watch the film Moneyball, and I think this is really what Farhan really gets off on, a notch in his belt, is when he takes reclamation projects or somebody that nobody is thinking about, and they have a pretty good year. For example, in the movie, they talked about Scott Hatteberg. Nobody was looking at him. Nobody, because he had basically an arm that was falling off. But he could hit and he could get on base. So they made him a first baseman. So in Farhan's eyes, getting a guy like that, Jeremy Giambi was a party animal. All he did was party, but he was Jason's younger brother, and he got on base. David Justice was a has-been. He was a has-been. Nobody was going to get him. But the Yankees were willing to get rid of him and pay half of his salary. So Farhan gets off on taking these projects that nobody thinks is going to be good and getting every bit of ounce of positivity and one more good season out of them. And to him, that's a success. It's not about winning World Series. It's about taking 3 or 4 or 5 projects and thinking, I'm the smartest guy in the world because none of the other GMs would have thought about bringing this guy on. And all of my guys hit. Did it win you a World Series? No, but my projects hit. I really think that really is something that he has his feather on, and he thinks that he's better than anybody in. But at the end of the day, great. You got some guys that nobody thought about. Congratulations. But you don't hit on the major talent. It's the stars that win World Series and win championships in sports. It's not reclamation projects,
Those aren't game changers.
And
those are not game changers, exactly.
And this is why what Robert's saying, this mismanagement of players is not just detrimental to the team right now. It's detrimental to the future because stars don't want to come here. Why would you want to come sign with Farhan? If you're listening, anybody, Giants owners, why in the world would you want to keep Farhan when he's preventing you from winning and attracting great players? I don't get it. Explain to me. Is it you just don't care because you're making money with Mission Rock and you can give a crap about the fans? Is that what you're saying, Giants owners? Because I don't get it. Farhan has done nothing to deserve another shot after this year. You're going to tell me that the San Francisco Giants come here in 1958 and don't have a losing season until 72. 14 straight winning seasons. And then you go through the doldrums in the 70s and you know what happened? You're a candlestick. Because you sucked, you almost had to leave and go to Tampa. Twice. You almost had to leave 2 times. It was the first time was where was the first time they were going? Was it Canada or where the heck were they going? They were going somewhere besides Tampa was in 93. There was another 93. There was another spot in the 80s they were going to go to, but Bob Lurie bought the team.
I think it was somewhere in Canada. Now I didn't remember. Yeah.
Toronto. I think it was Toronto in 77. So Bob Lurie saved the team because you stunk. And now you stink again. But look, when you hired good people, they knew how to win. You hired baseball people. You actually went out and hired guys like Dusty Baker to be the manager, and you had Bob Quinn running things. You had Al Rosen running that before then. Al Rosen brought you a division title and another division title and a World Series in '89, and then Bob Quinn brought you Bonds and helped with that. I mean, that was McGowan of course, but he went and signed Dusty Baker. They had a great season. Then they had some down years, 95, 96. Then you got Brian Sabian and Ned Colletti to run the ship, and you were incredible. You had 8 straight winning seasons. You had 20 seasons from 97 to 16 with 15 winning seasons. 15, 75%. After this losing season, you're going to have a 16.6% winning record for Farhan. And what in what line of work do you get to keep your job doing that?
You don't. You don't. In any line of work, you don't.
And how's the farm system that he was supposed to build up? Where is it ranked right now?
Depends on where you look at it.
It's in the 20s. It's all in the 20s.
So it's in the bottom third of the league. Okay, so he's failed at that. So I mean, we can go down every responsibility that he has and give him a grade. And I guarantee you, most of the grades are going to be C's and D's. There's going to be nothing that is a B or A at all. Nothing over 6 years. So, but what I'll say is we all thought getting rid of Kapler and replacing him with Melvin was going to be an improvement, and it hasn't been. So it's a tag team. It needs to be, further on top. And a new GM will probably get rid of Melvin as well because they'll want his own manager. So this is more than Farhan. I've said it repeatedly. This is a whole organizational failure this year in so many different aspects. I mean, I've said their hitting coach is Pat Burrell. I mean, what is Pat Burrell exactly going to teach you about the art of hitting?
How does Justin Veal still have a job? I don't understand it.
I don't know.
It's beyond me, guys, because like Cliff says, why would you sign with the Giants when they trade their guys away right away? In his first year, a 3-year contract, everyday platooning, stay away, sign with the Cubs, San Diego. Yeah, I mean, San Diego's hopping, Cubs hopping. There's so many other teams to go to. Robert Brown, even in a pass-fail system, Farhan fails. It's unbelievable to me that, we're not talking an organization that's not used to winning. They're the all-time winningest franchise. Do you think the LA Dodgers, if they were losing 5 out of 6 seasons in a row, they would maintain and keep their president of baseball ops?
No
way. New York, you wouldn't have, if you had 3 losing seasons, probably 2 in a row in New York, they'd be wanting you gone. I mean, this is unbelievable. That's why, Mad Dog was like unbelievable when he was on NBC Sports Bay Area going off. It was great.
What does he have, a lifetime contract?
Exactly. All right, George. A new member. Welcome, George. Appreciate the support. He says he loves the show.
Thank you, George.
Yes. Will I get my chats read during interviews now? Yes. We get those read more. Yes. And it's, we don't not read non-member chats. We just give the priority to the members, but we still read people's chats that are not members. It's some people like to point out
quality content in the chat will get you more likely.
Yeah, quality content, even if you're not a member, will get you a red. Yeah. Robert Brown, Al Rosen built a great organization. Yeah. Let me see. Aaron Lost. In all fairness, the Giants have a long history of failing to attract free agents, long before Farhan.
True. That was a lot had to do with Candlestick. People did not. Yeah. Hitters did not want to come here for sure.
Let's see. Who could we read a good comment that's not a member?
Dan, is it Immaculate Grid time?
Yeah, let's get to Immaculate Grid and let's get going here. And that way I can eat too. Oh, I got a Giants one.
Oh my God.
All right, the Mets, Giants, only one team, Braves, Dodgers, Hall of Fame. Mets and Braves.
What are we doing?
A player that played for both teams?
Mm-hmm.
Mets and Braves?
Did Bobby Bonilla play for the Braves?
No, Mets and Braves. That should be easy. Gosh. Mets and Braves.
Mets and Dodgers, I can tell you, Mike Piazza.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I'm going to put my camera off because I'm going to eat.
People are saying Tom Glavine for the Mets and Braves.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Glavine.
Hall of Fame.
Giants and Braves.
How about
Mark Melanson.
All right, we could also go Ray Adrianza.
Yeah, we can go. Let's go with our Adrianza. No, it'll put him
0.3.
Exactly. That's good. That's better for our score.
Yeah, you want the lowest percentage.
Oh, I was gonna say Jorge Soler. Dodgers and Giants. Okay, a lot of answers there.
Nick Ahmed.
No, but for there's got to be a lower score than him, no?
So recent, would it?
Would people put Nick Ahmed?
Do you think recent will hurt and old school would be more? Candy Maldonado was a Giant and a Dodger. Dusty Baker was a Giant and a Dodger. Reggie Smith was a Dodger and a Giant.
Right.
Was Terry Whitfield a Dodger and a Giant?
I don't think
Jock Peterson. Jock Peterson was. Who do you think? I think it sounds to me like the one Candy Maldonado might be a lower score because
not too many people.
So long ago.
Yeah, because it's longer ago. It was Candy Maldonado.
2%.
0.7.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I was right. Terry Whitfield played for the Dodgers.
Ooh, I did not know that. We should know that, Dan. That's our era, Dan.
How do I know that, but you guys don't know that?
Yeah, that's sickening. I'm embarrassed. I'm getting off the show.
I don't know, but I'm enjoying my sandwich right now.
Oh, go ahead. Hall of Fame, Mets, Tom Seaver.
Let's go with you got also Hernandez, the first baseman, right?
Keith Hernandez.
Did he make it?
Keith Hernandez? I don't know if he made the Hall of Fame.
Let's go Tom Seaver.
33%.
Bummer.
Okay, let's have a Giant that not too many people know about is in the Hall of Fame.
You got the Willies, the two Willies.
Okay, everybody's going to say Mays, McCovey, Marichal.
Cepeda.
What about Gaylord Perry? Is he a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody will pick Gaylord. Well, I mean they will, but not 21%.
3%.
Nice.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, did Gaylord Perry throw a lot of Vaseline on the ball?
Oh yeah. What else we got here?
Braves, only one team. So a player that played for the Braves his whole career.
Oh.
Chipper Jones?
Hank Aaron. No, Aaron went to Milwaukee, didn't he? At the end.
Chipper Jones?
Yeah. Chipper Jones or wait a minute. Is Matthew in here? Did Chipper play anywhere else? Help chat. Did Chipper play anywhere else at the end?
No,
No, not Smoltz. He was with the Tigers. Chipper.
Let's do Chipper.
Yeah, and his first name is John, not Dan Smoltz. Giovanni, man. Get out of here.
And he played for other. Okay, Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
His whole career. Did Fernando pitch for anybody else?
Drysdale. Koufax. You could say Koufax.
Koufax is going to be guessed.
Koufax is going to be big time guest.
How about
Ron Say?
I think he go at the end somewhere else.
I know Garvey went to the Padres.
Bill Russell?
Davey Lopes?
No, he went somewhere else.
Did he?
Gavin Lux.
Right now,
I think you can do that, but no, we don't need to do that.
Sure you do. Sure you do.
Let me think.
Farhan lover.
Old Dodger. How about Maury Wills?
God.
I don't know. No, Don Sutton played with other teams, mentor. Ron Raquel says Say. I don't think Say went anywhere else.
I don't think so either. Bert Hooten.
No.
Yeah, Ron Say, the Penguin. He's a giant killer.
Ron Say?
Oh boy, this could get us.
I mean,
Wait. I think he played with. Didn't Say played with the Cubs?
okay, take him
Don't
off.
do it. Don't do it. I think. Yeah, Roy Campanelli. I think. The safest is Koufax if we want to get it.
Yeah, I guess. We got some other players on there that were pretty low percentages. So, yeah, to play it safe, Koufax.
Probably 62%.
19.
Oh,
That's not bad.
wow. I thought it would be way more than that.
Okay, what's the next one? Hall of Fame?
Mm-hmm.
For who?
Only one player on one team.
Which team?
Any team.
One player that played his entire career
one player. Okay.
as a Hall of Famer.
That should be pretty
Did
easy. How
George,
about
George Brett?
did Aricio get in the Hall of Fame, or does he just get inducted, or has he already been?
Who? Ichiro?
Ichiro?
He played for two teams. He played.
Oh, that's right. He did. He at the end.
Marlins.
Marlins. That's right.
George Brett.
George Brett.
Mickey Mantle. George Brett. How about
Carl Yastrzemski.
Carl Yastrzemski would be a good one.
Let's do Carl Yastrzemski.
Roberto. My man Roberto.
Roberto Clemente. Should we talk?
Yeah, let's do Roberto.
Yeah, Roberto.
4%.
For honor of Ron Rivera's idol, the great Roberto Clemente.
You know, Elliot Ramos is from Puerto Rico.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he go? I think Elliot went to high school though, in
the States.
Yeah, he did.
Or some academy or some Christian academy or something like that. Garrick Robert Brown says, "All right, we did it. We got all 9.
Should we do the Immaculate Draft now?
What's the Immaculate Draft?
It's kind of the same, but you have to pick a player. It's more recent. Like pick a player who played from the Marlins from 2021 to 2024 and is also on the Pirates in 2024. That was the guy who just got traded this trade deadline. Was it Brian De La Cruz?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think it was. It's only showing 21 to 23. I think it was though. Yep, it was. We got it right. Now we can do. So the goal is to get a high, like the highest overall team. So the highest player is Mike Napoli, but we could go higher or lower. 45 career stolen bases, and if we get it right, he's a 91, and if we get it wrong, he's a 71.
45 career stolen bases for who?
Mike Napoli.
Oh, he's a catcher. He doesn't run much. I would say lower.
I would say lower too. Yep. He's a 91 overall now. We got that right. All right, which MLB player is this? 2018 to 2021 for the Rangers, 2022 to 2023 for the Yankees.
Wait a minute. Somebody wanted to come in the show here too. Ryan, can maybe check that out. Who wanted to come in the show? I think it was a George.
George can replace me.
George, link. Put the link out for George. We'll meet George.
Yeah, come on in, George.
Go ahead and put that link out there. And what's the question here again, Bora?
2018 to 2021 with the Rangers, 2022 to 2023 with the Yankees, 2024 and 2024 with the Blue Jays and Pirates. It's kind of fluffy, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Second base. What is the name of Shohei Ohtani's dog?
Decoy.
Is it Decoy?
100%.
Got it.
I trust Dan. He knows his dogs.
Pete Alonso is now tied with which player for the third most home runs?
In Mets history.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Darryl Strawberry.
Let's see. There's Strawberry that hit some homers there.
Piazza.
Who's their other big home run hitter? Ed Kranepool? I mean, who's there? I can't think of David Wright, someone said.
Yeah, Wright was a good hitter. He had some power.
Strawberry and Piazza got to be two.
It's not
Howard
Keith
Johnson?
Hernandez, right? No.
Howard Johnson, Keith Hernandez.
Hernandez was an average hitter. Batting average, I mean. I mean, he hits for some power, but I don't think he's third.
Tommy Agee. I mean, come on. Who's the Mets? They haven't had a lot of home run guys. I mean, how many does Pete Alonso roughly have, you think? 250?
All right, let's look up how many home runs Pete Alonso has. He has 220.
Okay, I was pretty close. So the Mets, Piazza played there for how many years? About 7?
I want to say 6 to 7 years.
Yeah.
Average of about 30 plus?
That would put him at about 210 for 7 years.
220.
Yeah, Strawberry, I think, has more than Piazza. So I think it would be Mike Piazza. But I'm curious to know who 1 and 2 is. If Strawberry's 2 or 1, I wonder who the other one is. I'm not thinking power for the Mets.
Power for the Mets, I know. Oh, wow.
Mike Piazza? Should we just guess Mike Piazza?
Yeah.
Rock Kelsa's Cleon Jones. I remember him in the 60s, 70s.
It was Mike Piazza.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Who's 1 and 2?
We don't know. It doesn't show.
Oh. Whoa. Cha-ching, guys.
Which team has scored 73 runs in their last 7 games?
This is like up to date today, then.
Yeah.
Huh?
Uh-huh.
Too bad that question doesn't say which team has scored 7 runs in the last 7 games. We would know.
We would know who that is. Yeah.
I know the Cubs scored 14 the other day. Yesterday.
Team averaging over 10 runs in their last 7 games.
My guess, I bet it's. I don't know. The Cubs have been hitting. I haven't been looking at the. You think it's the Cubs? Who do you think it could be?
The Royals, maybe?
Did the Cubs even play today?
Let's just guess the Cubs. Let's see. Yep. It's the Cubs.
Nice.
Wow, we got it.
All right. Which MLB player is this? 2014 to 2020 on the Nationals, 2021 to 2022 on the Royals, 2023 with the Twins, and 2024 with the Pirates.
Ooh. So he stayed with the Nationals for how many years? 14 to
20.
So he was on a couple of good teams. Won a championship. You think it's a pitcher?
I don't
Yeah.
know. Is it?
Yeah, it might be a pitcher. So he was on the who was he? He was on the Twins last year?
I would think it's a reliever.
Jesus, that's
Mark Graves gave us some numbers. Straw has 252 and is number 1, Wright 242 for second.
I had Strawberry. Nice.
Somebody else had Wright. That was good. Yeah,
it's a current Pirate.
So who's a current Pirate right now?
Can anybody name like more than 4 Pirates right now?
Exactly.
On a team?
Yeah, Chapman, Bednar, Cruz.
I was kidding.
Well, I know I'm just going. I'm going through the names.
Yeah, they could. Ooh, Chapman. Did Chapman ever
No.
play for the Nationals? No, he did not.
So somebody was on the 2014 Nationals and the 2019 team.
Mm-hmm.
Who was there?
Who was a rookie in 2014?
Michael Taylor, Giovanni says. I don't think Taylor.
That's it. That's it.
Really?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Michael Taylor's that old now.
I think it's Michael Taylor.
Make sure you get Taylor.
How do you spell his name?
Taylor.
No, his first name.
Michael.
Michael.
Yeah.
Maybe he spells it different.
But look at this.
That's the different Michael Taylor. There's another.
Yeah.
Try with a Y. Just type in Taylor.
All right.
See if it does that.
M Taylor? No. How do you spell Michael Taylor? A. Is that can't be the right one though?
Yeah, he's giving us the wrong years because we know he's still playing.
If you're Googling this information, you're cheating.
There it is. Michael A. Taylor.
2014 to 23. So, but it's saying, is he?
I think they haven't. I think that's it though. Yeah. All right, we could play it safe with Byron Buxton, who's an 81 overall, or we could risk it with Garrett Cooper, 76 overall. Does he have more or less than 262 career RBIs?
Who are we talking about?
Garrett Cooper.
Garrett Cooper. This is the guy that played with the Marlins for a while.
Marlins, Padres. I think he had a stint with the Red Sox this year.
I think it's got to be less. How long have you been playing? 3-4 years?
Can't be long.
I remember with the Marlins in 22 coming up. I watched him against the Giants when I was there for opening series of the season. Was that he must have been like, let's say he played the year before, 21, 22, 23, 24. That's an average of how many RBIs? 262?
Yeah, that's under.
4 years, that's 65. 70 times 4 is 280. 60 times 4, 240. That's like 65 under.
Yeah. Yep, we're right. All right. This statue of Ty Cobb once sat outside of which team's stadium?
Probably Detroit.
What's he doing? Sliding?
Yeah.
Well, look at this right here.
Oh,
That's an interesting statue.
can you blow that up a little more, Boro?
No, it's a Atlanta Brave though.
What?
That's the Atlanta Brave logo right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, Matthew's in the house. Matthew's from Atlanta. He would recognize that. Matthew? Calling on Matthew.
This is the Brave Stadium.
But could that be a decoy, or do you think that's it? No, they wouldn't do that. I would have thought.
Detroit, right?
Yeah. What are we have to name the stadium, or just the team?
Which team stadium?
Oh, which team stadium? Did he? Matthew says, "What's the question? I didn't hear it." This statue of Ty Cobb once sat outside which team's stadium? And there's the picture of the stadium, and it looks like, is that Truist Park or Turner?
I think it's the old Braves field.
I know if Matthew's here, he'll know that. He's typing, I can tell. Cobb was from the South. Why would the Braves? He never played with the Braves, did he?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Why would the Braves? I mean, that's like the Giants putting a statue of Maury Wills sliding. It's like, what the heck's this doing here?
I think
Let's
it's
get
the
a
Braves.
caller on the show who wants to join. Do we have the link out there, guys? Matthew says Braves or Tigers, one of the two. That's what I was thinking. But that stadium, blow up the stadium and show Matthew the stadium. Matthew.
That is the Braves logo right there.
But could it be several teams' logos? You know how they show some stadiums have all the
right
flag.
there, you see that? That's the Braves logo too.
Really? You got good eyes.
A right there. I do have good eyes.
I'd
Look
go
at
Atlanta then.
I think Atlanta.
All right.
Yep. All right. Does Yoenis Cespedes have higher or lower than 852 career strikeouts?
Higher.
Higher?
Wait, how many years has he been in the league?
What year did he come on? Like 2012?
He's been in the league for over 10 years. He strikes out a lot.
I would say an average of 140 at least a year times
10
10
years.
40, yeah, higher.
Yeah. Oh, it was lower.
He's too hurt.
Yeah.
So what do we get? No points or?
No, we just the overall goes down.
Wow.
Name this player, and it's blank. Oh, okay.
He's their shortstop for the.
Is that
Rengifo?
Is that Rengifo? That's what I was thinking. Number 2.
I think it's Rengifo.
What the heck?
Let's just guess Rengifo.
I think
Eric Ibar.
Oh, Ibar. Yeah.
We get a John Boy Media T-shirt worth 0.
I would have never got that. Is this our prize?
Yeah, no, that's the 0 overall goes in center field.
Oh, jeez.
All right, last one. Manuel Margot started his MLB career with which team?
Tampa?
I remember him with Tampa.
They have a picture of him with Tampa. Did he play on the Padres?
He did, but I don't know if he started with the Padres.
That might be a good call. I think he did start with the Padres. The bulk of his career is with Tampa, but to start with, I think I do remember him with the Padres.
I think it's Padres.
Yeah,
go ahead.
That'd be a good guess.
Yep.
Nice. Good job.
All right, we're all done.
Thank you.
And nobody's coming on. So
what happened to George? He's supposed to come on.
Did the link get put out there, Ryan?
Yeah, the link's
right there. Okay, guys. George wanted to come on.
Batting for Los. George.
And Bora.
Hey, you come on. I'll give you another hot take. Okay, come on.
What about Giovanni come on? Has he ever come on?
Yeah, Giovanni
has never come on.
Giovanni, take my place. Come on and explain your infatuation with Farhan, please. Love to hear it.
Damn, I'm ready to go to bed.
Me too. And I'm done. Guys, it's been fun. We had a lot of guests this week. Sean Estes, Monday night. Ned Coletti, Tuesday night. Last night, Marty Lurie. Tonight, Riverboat Ron Rivera. That was a treat.
That was exceptional.
Yes. And Tuesday night, after the Giants play the Arizona Diamondbacks at 6:45, the postgame at 9:30, Do we have it put up there yet? No, I guess our producer is out, but I will go ahead and go to the banners and put it up here, guys. Coming on to the show Tuesday night, former general manager of the San Francisco Giants, Bobby Evans. You asked for guests, we provide. And we don't just provide small potatoes. We go for the big boys. Okay? We're bringing you Giants, people related to the Giants, okay? And that's Tuesday night. On Thursday night, the Giants do not play a night game. They play in the day game, a Thursday. So at 6:30, the great San Francisco Giants former pitcher Dave Dravecky will join us on Thursday at 6:30. I think our producer didn't know how to spell Dravecky. Okay. So
yeah, we have elevators over here, not stairs.
Yeah. So MF, get Tonjes on. We're working on Tonjes, tight end Jake Tonjes for the San Francisco 49ers, working on that one. But guys, come on, man. Bobby Evans, general manager. We got that clip we played a little bit of a clip last night. We had Bobby Evans special on that. Eric and I talked about Bobby Evans a long time ago. About his success, what he did with the Giants. So Bobby Evans, Dave Dravecky next week, maybe even some more. Tim Flannery, spoke with him today. He'd love to come on, but not available right now. So maybe we'll get Tim Flannery on during the World Series. Can't promise, but we'll try.
Working also working on a 49er legend from the past. Working on that one.
Working on that and working on another architect, GM of the Giants, the most famous one. I won't even say his name. Hey, we can put that back up again. I'm working on the biggest fish of them all. Okay, guys. So, you want Giants guests? We got them. You want football guests? We're getting them. Okay. We had one tonight. We'll get more. And you want some basketball when basketball comes? We'll get those too. Okay. Got some connections and we'll make them happen. Okay. So thank you for joining NorCal Sports Network. It is the network to be at. It's the place to go for all of your sports, Bay Area sports needs. And we got you covered, guys. So let's get the music. Where's it going? There we go. All right, guys. Tomorrow, Giants no game, right? No game tomorrow. Do we have any guests tomorrow?
No.
They're calling the hotline behind us constantly, and we got operators standing by, picking up phones for guests that want to join NorCal Sports Network. We can't even keep up with it. We're going to have to hire more people, it looks like, guys, to man the phones for all these guests breaking down the doors. Kidding, guys, kidding. No, we don't have anything going tomorrow, so we'll just have morning game plan tomorrow, 10:30. Morning game plan tomorrow, 10:30. We'll talk about what's hot. We'll find out tomorrow. Guys, go have a good night. Have a great Friday, and we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully at